Hello everyone, welcome back. Drive, CTAF, I'll just go to our AnyAUT, make sure that we're all in the sync. ACT April 2020. All right, team, let's go ahead. So predominantly yesterday, we were looking into how we could look at one of AnyAUT as a product's large implementation for a client called Climatic. That is what we discussed in the previous session, and how we can execute those regression excels in a local machine. These are large sized regressions team. So primarily you will look at the number of rows for each of them exceeding a good number of few thousands and so on for test steps. On an average, some of these Excel sheets, each of them is pointing to a different website instance of the application. So look at it this way, team. So here is Climatic software. There is one version of it which is given to a customer A, then a customer B, and a customer C. So different clients are using some customized version of the main software. So when the releases are happening, the releases are also happening to different customers. So at that time, there are functionalities that are common to both in here, and those functionalities belong to a library out here for us. Okay, and so that's more like a DLL, distributed linked library, or just a reusable library. These are all those common scenarios, everyone. Let me change my audio. Give me 1 second. Tell me if this is better, team. Just put my headsets on. This should be easier, I guess. So now A has a few things that are customized to it. B has a few things that are customized, and C has different customizations. Each one for the test also has a different URL. So the URL here is different, the URL here is different, the URL here is different. And also the entire data at the back end for each of them. Okay. Trying to draw a cylinder. So that's a database for the application. So what do I mean, team? URL is different. When I log in as a user called super admin, the super admin has access to all that functionality on that URL. Then we have a admin under a super admin, different rules. Admin has fewer roles. Then we have a branch user, a business user, and a registered user. So different authorizations levels. So if you go to the client side, for example, 2005.matic.net, and you click on register today, any one of you can register onto this application, giving your simple details, dummy details. You become a registered user at this point. Once you become a registered user, then you go in as a super admin and change that. The only thing I'm mentioning here is yesterday I went and created an account for Keiko Sireddy on these, if it was not already available. So now each of these three URLs are here. So page setter is on this URL, ICM is on this URL, career is on this URL. And then for each of them, I'm using these usernames. And that is fine, team, using those usernames we're testing. But please do note that in our regression Excels, our test data has to be corrected. Why? I'll just show you, for example. Ting, 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 ting. Just a very brief thinking. There's nothing complex about what we are doing. The complexity is the size. Everything else is not. Oops, I erased it. But yeah, I think the point was there. So I sign in as a super admin in this case. And this is my dashboard. What is it that I wanted to show? So I go to click on my profile on the top and say my profile. So here are my profile details that I have entered for it. Okay. Now this should also be the details that we have to put into our core regression Excels. So if I go to ICM phase 2, I know that at least login details may be pointing to me, like Keiko's Reddy, but from there on, it is pointing to someone different. Okay, new registered. These data have to be changed, team. Some of the ones in the red have to be changed, and some of the ones they have to be updated, like dates are no longer current. So you have to make sure that this is there. So a few rows that will be there in red. And also you will see some test cases failing because it has my data compared to the old data. So this Excel sheet test data has yet to be updated. It is not yet updated. Yesterday, I just created this logins and I started my execution team. So I went to C tab, I opened it this way 4 times. And each time I gave different login credentials, different Excel sheets to it. And I got my results team. These were the 4 result folders. ICM, the big one, we broke it down into 2 portions. So each one can be done individually. So that's why we have 2 of them. What else? So let's look at the reports very quickly. And Ramu, you can guide us through the next steps, please. What you want to do, and we'll talk about them. So primarily, it is right now for us to analyze your test results. Okay. Then how do we maybe rerun for the failed test cases, identify errors. Actually, so what I will do is identify failed test cases, identify errors or quick fixes from automation, and then rerun for the failed test cases. Log any defect using the defect template. So that is going to be our stats. Now, this is almost towards the end of from an AnyAUT perspective. This is the activity that I would want you all to participate. We also created the Skype groups for both the dev and the test. Is it pointing to the right one, team, the coding and the dev? The coding in the manual portion. So these are the Skype groups, and keep that active even if it's small, because members will keep moving across groups, team, as we are doing multiple activities within IT Learn and AnyAUT. So we need to take a look into this, team, and how we go about. Predominantly, the most important thing is percentage of pass. That's the first thing. Time taken is the second thing that you need to look at. So when you go and look at your overall results in the extent report, there are two tabs. There is the dashboard tab that gets us into how many total steps. Let's write that too. Total steps and fail. So it can be a template team for us to put this data. For example, I'll just create it here. This is in AACT, but I want a different one. So I put some regression reports here, team. I'll move this to another folder. Here, I'll just create a new folder called results. So any results that I'm having, yesterday, the one I ran, I uploaded including the screenshots, everything, this 4 Excels, and it came to 280 MB. I'm moving this to another folder, team. Are you all with me? Am I losing anyone? So in C tab, now I moved it into results folder. So in here, if I create a simple dashboard, just say, let's see. C tab, results, run results, I will say. So simple details like name, okay, user, or I'll say tester, date of run, C tab, I'll say client, C tab Excel. So somewhere I have to put an Excel link to it into here, so that will figure. Then I want to add this data there. Number of pass, time taken, steps failed, and so on. Time taken, percentage pass, total steps, pass, fail. So now, do you all have access to this sheet? Why is there such silence in the crowd? Team, I need some chat messages saying, are you with me or not, please? So I'm going to take ICM1 and I'll try and put that here. Thank you all. Got your message. So I should be able to now do certain things here. So I'm going to look at the results and try and make sense out of it as a summary. So ICM1, this is, so I'll just call this ICM1 3597. So ICM1 3597, percentage pass is 94%. Time taken 3 hours 20 minutes. How will I say 3 hours, 20 minutes team? I'll just say 3.3 hours, okay? Percentage pass was 93%, right? 94, sorry. 94. Sorry, I'm tabbing too much between each. How many steps passed? How many failed? So 3378, 195. 3378, 195. So that was done by KK and it was done on 4th May. Okay. So the same way I also did for a few more. You all want to at least do these executions and tell me please what is happening, because we need to further analyze. Now comes ICM2, 93%, 3929. This is ICM2. Both are 93. So this is ICM2. ICM1 is 94. 94, 93. Time taken is 3 hours, 10 minutes. So that's like 3.15 hours. And total steps 3929. Pass 3643. Fail 286. Okay, so that's my raw data team. I have two more. I'll just fill that. Carrier, sorry, 4463. Oops, I don't need. Carrier 4463. 84. 5 hours, 15 minutes is 5.25. 84. Sorry, what else did you have? 3734, 729. Sorry, 3734, 729. So a lot of steps failed for us team in this case. Last one, pace setter, 6.5. 6.5 hours. Because it's 6 hours 30 minutes, 6,086%. 86%, 6,000 change, 6,027. Seven, 8, 9, 838. So see, number of steps that failed are high here, and this is for pace setter. So ICM1, ICM2, carrier, pace setter. These are the 4 Excels that we were running. Now this include all scenarios from both phase 1, phase 2. So that's the summary team of what we were doing. They're not different modules of Climatic team, they're different client versions. Okay, so each one is going to client the same software. Modules means you're breaking down the software. How can we give one customer login, other customer banking, like that? You have to give an integrated one. It will all look the same from a client's angle. Okay. Now, team Ramu, yes, please. So there are a lot of activities. At a high level, what's in our cards this week? What do you want us to do? Don't know if we can hear you in case you're speaking. Okay. I wasn't able to run any test case on Zeta so far. Would you please help? I wasn't able to run any test cases. Would you say message? Why you could not run? Did you follow the instructions? Okay. Let me make you presenter and show it to me, please, at your end. Shalin, can you share your screen once I make you presenter? Give me 1 minute. And Ramu, we are not able to hear you. Yes, I can see your screen.
Sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the one that I'm supposed to run. And I tried with this demo first.
Mm-hmm. Did you update go to your browser drivers once? Has that been updated?
No.
Just check once. Go to that Explorer, the folder where your software is. Go to browsers, please. Go to Windows. This is an old version of Chrome driver. That's the issue. The one that's at the top, 8 kilobytes. There's a newer version. So rename this as old or something. Chrome driver 2. We'll get the latest one and put it here. Just rename this. Yeah. Say 2. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, it's done. Good. Now, do regular automation runs happen in your system?
I was able to use only the AACT so far. AXL.
AnyAUT is working?
Yeah, it's working.
Okay, let's go to AnyAUT folder then. It's the top, I guess. So go to browsers here. Then copy this. See, the size is 7886 kilobytes.
Yeah.
So copy both of these, please. Control C, and let's go to our folder there. Anyone else, team, having any technical issues?
So just paste here.
Yes, please, placed it here. And then we will run the demo. I think Gecko driver. Say skip. Okay. So Gecko driver got updated. I think, sorry, a Chrome driver got updated. Gecko driver may have not been, and that is okay.
Yeah.
But it's the same file, I believe. The reason sometimes this permission denied and all that is also because maybe we tried to execute and in our tasks, those drivers are still running in the backend, and hence not letting us rename or delete or overwrite. So we have to kill that task and come back. But I think we are good to try, please.
Sure.
So we'll use the demo underscore small, which is there. Just click on execute. Yeah, sure. So now go to results folder for us. And you should start seeing the folder getting blocked.
Just getting.
It got closed also.
Yeah.
Something is not correct. Can I get keyboard and mouse once? Let's see. Is everything right? Did you recently download this? Where did you get this from?
This is from the Google Drive. I did it the way I downloaded the AUT.
Mhm. Now just seeing.
Yeah.
Can you open one more File Explorer? And where was that? Can you go to AnyAUT, please?
Yeah.
Ramu, in the meanwhile, are you audible for us? Okay, so let's paste that Excel here. Do a Control V. I think either way I have to go and select the whole thing. Did you do Control V, please, for me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. 1 second. It's working here regular.
Yeah.
I don't know what is wrong. It should. So I would want you to download and show me anyone else facing this issue. I'll try on AnyAUT right now. So I'll just call this as demo_small. And this will only do up to 500 test steps, team. Does not go beyond. So let us see if the execution happens here. The results folder is the first thing that should get updated, which seems to be happening correctly.
Yeah.
Which is right. Now let me go to results is getting updated. So it's also launching. So you're at least from a system perspective, configurations, everything is in line. There is no challenge there. C tab.
Yeah.
You have a downloaded version, right?
Yeah.
Can you do me a favor? If you don't mind, I'll just put a folder here.
Yeah.
Just create it here once, Steve. Just put C tab 2 if you don't mind. You can delete it later.
Yeah.
Just copy that entire folder here, unzip once again. Let's take that. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Let's go to that folder, please. Here. No. Okay, sure. Okay, go ahead. Now, just update the browsers here.
Okay.
Delete that Chrome driver.
This one too?
That's okay for now. I mean, that's the one that's named accordingly. Let's try, please.
Yeah.
So C2, yeah. Just say execute. Put your results folder. It's working.
Yes, okay. Yeah, thank you.
Launching also.
Yeah.
So maybe when you unzip, it
Yeah.
did not do it correctly. Some file was missing.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Now it's working. You better check. So definitely the browser has to be updated, team. Keep note of that. I'll put the latest driver onto G drive.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Great. So that was that. And now comes the dashboard. So team, are we talking about analysis now of how, and we need to further dig deeper into this. So primarily, I want you to take this up, because not only are you going to share the results, but also try and fix them. So let us say now ICM1. Give me a second, there's a huge bug here. Sorry, there's a big, huge bug there. So what was I saying? So here, so I'm looking at ICM1, and if I go into the details, I can see a lot of tests failing. Right? So it's easy to keep on going through all of these tests and see what's failing, and so there are a lot of unknowns also. So primarily, but these are all the test cases that we're talking about for the first. Now, pace setter 6.5 hours was running, right? So look at the number of steps here. So test cases are much larger because not split. So if I take any of the failures, what I'll also do is parallelly, I'm going to keep my regression Excel open. So let us say I'm trying to improve only on ICM for now. Okay. So I'll do ICM1, and let us say this is the first one that's failing. Test case number 2. So what was that? Type the change passwords, and this is the problem. Error requesting. So why is this having an issue? So change password is a defect. So this is one defect which we have to log. So in the regression Excel for ICM1, sorry, ICM part 1, what I would do is very simple. I would go to that specific test case where the failure happened. What is it saying? TC0 to change password, right? So TC0 to change password here. And I'll say this is a defect from my end. Okay? So this is a defect, and I'll write some notes if I want towards the end of it. And I'll say known error. So similarly, I want to identify all the test cases that have failed. So sometimes it is hard for me to go in specifically and see where, so I can filter this down. So I'll say only the test cases that have failed, because there are fewer test cases failed, so we will look at them. Next one is this one, new registration test page 2 validation. So I'll go there, find it, and I'll say there's a defect here. Now, what kind of a defect is it? The way I look at it, it says page 2 click on military radio button. So this is not a application defect. Test data needs to be fixed. That is the category I would put it into. So just my comments for now. That's the most critical part of it. The next one is 3, test case 3, 4 also. So why did 3 fail? See, the way these are written, some of these don't have a flow open. Okay, one second. Here all filters. So 2 failed. It could not. So it could not go to the next page. It could not go to the next page because there's no open browser, closed browsers here. So all this will fail. So all this will fail because 2 failed. So I will write here, this is also a defect caused by previous test case, and this continues over. So ideally we return that as one scenario instead of saying for the page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. So 4 pages they were divided because the new registration process is like that. So the first one no defect, the next 3 are having a defect. Now if these fail here, most of the logins and so on, I don't think are in plenty here, but there are different ones. I'm just looking at the others here. Change password is working here. There's no problem. So it is specific to that one thing that we're looking at. So it's still in part 1 of ICM. And let's go back a few more and going to try and analyze. Something that is, we're looking at types of errors. Now let's look at this TC06 claim search policy type. I'll do a Control F, Control V and find that. So I know there's a defect. I don't know yet where it is. Okay. So let's now look at why it could have occurred. So everything looks to be going well in this scenario, but verify claims search is loaded. So there seems to be an error here. So what is it that we expected? Why is it having an issue? This has to be further analyzed, team, this defect. So for this, test data set is Chrome, verify text, test data is claims search. So let's look at this test case. For this test case, now it becomes important that I go into the steps. So again, I'll do a Control F, Control V and find what step is it? Step number 13 here, UD case. Verify claim search is loaded. So what are we giving here, team? So this is an error. So I'm just at least gonna put it into a red mark right now. It's easy for me to see. Verify text, reusable test data is there. Let's see what we get here. Claims search. What do I see here? Claims search. Any extra spaces or anything? I see an additional space here. I don't know if that is affecting it. So the way I can see it is reproduce this, come to this extent and analyze this. So what we do then is we have to do what we have to do. It's log in. But believe me, team, this will clean up whatever we have. And this is the activity that I want you to do. The most important aspect being the point that when you're working on such an activity and you talk about it in your projects, in interviews, resume, you know at the back end the whole size of it. So you can very clearly say, you know what, we had such reports, it was, and we spent a lot of time on this activity. This is where we were stuck. Here, all these challenges you can talk about. So where were we going? Claims search, I believe. I'm not sure. And this is the one. So I'll inspect this. And the data here is much more than just claim search. See, in here, when it says red, that means that it found the test the element ID, but it is not matching with the text itself. So the best case, team, is to copy this and let's try and put it into a notepad and see how it looks like. This is how it looks like, team. So we should strip these before verifying. So we look into this. When we rerun, I will know. So the text claims search, it needs to be truncated, of spaces before verification. So how do we make that happen? At least manually we can see that it's a problem or not. The reason I'm writing this in execute, team, then everything else that is not is a not a defect, I will say no and do a few things for it. Just one more or couple more. Now for this, I have to go a little bit more deeper. Maybe I'll change the data here, or whatever I copied there, I'll put it here. See the way I got it. This is what I got in the application, so I'm putting it this way. So now we will try with that. Let's go back here and next error. So a lot of passes since then. So our diary UI validation, lot of steps in it passed. Filter result. Ting, 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 ting. Set filter item all. Select owner. Click on expand button first row. So I think when we are searching here, there is a problem because of the test data, if I'm not wrong. So this has to be retested from our end. Why is it that we are having, what was the next step that we're looking at? See, if you go close Symfony toolbar, wait, navigate to our diary page, select filter item all, select owner. Which owner are we selecting? Adrian Bennett. Done. That is what I'm seeing also. Wait for filtered result to appear in outbox. So it's not coming up, team, for it. It's waiting for 10 seconds, the hard waits. And what we are looking at in this is a row, nth child being 1 dot details. I'm seeing this. And it has got nothing. Why? Because maybe when I logged in as this user and I ran this, there is no data with that. So it could be a test data related. So what I would do is go to the test case and ting. Where am I? Sorry. Wrong window. So test case 3, 4. Why did 4 fail? Just checking. 4 fail. Click on claim number. Nothing. So all of these seem to be related with the same, because we don't have any data coming in here. This is still loading. See, that is why we need the manual wait. We are searching for a different owner now. Though you don't know the functionality, we are looking at the English and we're trying to follow those steps. So all this check test data. So it's a defect because we have to check the test data. Here from 2 all the way to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. Why did it fail? Same thing, no data. Then how did 7 pass? Because we're not doing all that. And so all of this can be combined into one. It doesn't have to be so many different ones. So these are all defects. and then search by claim validation. Now this all are test data is not showing up in the results. Use better test data. Now only these are meaning. Sorry, Ramu. What's that? Test case 3, customers, new customer creation. Test case 3, which is the one here, is it? Okay, we haven't come till there. I'll look at that. So this is also defect. All this is the same reason. There's nothing coming in the filter. And this is the additional. Now, what was here? 3 failed, and there are a lot of steps in it. Capture the successful creation, green filter display. This is what saying it's failed. I'm not sure why it failed. We can rerun and see. Test case 4 failed. And I think its issue also is to create. If that fails, this also will fail. So we can at least mention 3 and 4 are defects. Then 8, 9, 10. I'm assuming it could be test data in my account. I'm not sure. So we'll have to verify. Now, the simplest way I will do is first I'm going to select all of yes and make it as no. I don't want to select anything. Okay, now let's see if I still have defects for me. It's okay to them. And these are defects, right? So I'll just put them as defects somewhere else, team, for now. Oh no. It's filtering space messed up. Luckily did not. So now, yeah. So basically I have a few that I want to retest now. I know most of this failed, but it'll be a good idea to retest. So I'll save this as part 1, rerun defects 1. Okay. And I'm going to save that. And then let me quickly try and run just that one and see what happens. It's fine. That's the defects. SCM browse. CTAF. We are in test automation framework master. Regression excels. New regressions. Rerun defects 1. Open. I'll just put this as 6 seconds. Execute. So the preparation always takes time, team, because of the size of the errors that we have. But it's done actually. It's launched the browser also. So I'll let it happen in the back end and see what reports I'll get now through this execution. So I can very easily be able to go in and see what is it that I'm expecting, where is it going wrong, and start fixing them. And you will notice that there will be a ripple effect in these. Sometimes you just fix a couple of days in a module and others in that module will start running easily. Regression Excel is primarily what we're saying is total Excel that is running for everything, or across all the modules. So with the click of a button, we're able to retest all of it. Now with the other one, we have to look into when we're talking about retesting here right now, is specifically identifying the scenarios which have failed and trying to retest it. Why is it failing? What's going right, wrong? And see the results. So a lot of fixes can be done, and if we are fixing or we have suggestions, then we can keep looking at it. If not, we log the defects. So most important, get your runs going everyone, and then we can explore more from there. I'm going to let this happen in the back end, and I will start to fix things at my end as well. Let's see where it's broken down. Predominantly, I think team will have one more session towards AnyAUT, what and how we're doing, what's happening. And if you want to continue with the JPAC projects and so on, you could continue either AnyAUT or Climatic or any other projects. Primarily, what we are trying to do is there's a part training that we are always involved into, but also there is good amount of hands-on project works. So we want to keep a lot of interaction through project. So now it's all about you doing tasks, working with us, getting everything slowly. Yes, please create your own credentials on Climatic if possible. You can register, but if you register, then we have to log in as a super admin, find your registered user and make you super admin. It is okay to use the credentials right now for execution. What is important is looking at those results and debugging as well. All right, everyone, that's it from my side. I'll let the test run happen at the back end, and touch on the groups. I'll keep guiding. But from a webinar point of view, I think let's reconnect again. We'll keep continuing this as a project. Okay, thank you all. Bye then. Take care.